let us see the differences of logarithmic equation, logarithmic inequality, and logarithmic function. So there are three types of logarithm, no? Logarithmic equation, function, and inequality. So these are the definition. If you have logarithmic equation, of course, it is an equation involving logarithms. If logarithmic inequality, it is an equality involving logarithms. And if it is logarithmic function, it is a function of the form f of x is equal to log base b of x. And again, remember that your b here, your base here, should be greater than 0 or should not be equal to 1. Okay, now, let's see the examples kung different bagid silang tulo. So if you have logarithmic equation, you have this form. If it is inequality, of course, atong gamiton nga equivalent sign is greater than, less than, greater than or equal, or less than or equal. And then if you have logarithmic function, of course, if it is a function, it should always start with g of x or f of x or h of x, depende. But all of these forms are, or all of these forms involves logarithms. So, dili no, basi matingala mo ma'am, dili man ni log. This is still log. Log gihapon ni siya, but this is in base E. Mao nang basta base E gali mo ang log, ln na siya. Di na siya log. Okay? Just the difference of the three. Okay, let's proceed. So we have two usually nga mga logarithms. So we have common logarithm and natural logarithm. Kana mga common logarithm class, those are logarithm with base 10. Whereas ani, log base 10 of x. Kato mga natural logarithm, those are logarithm with base e. So mo na dahil na nga ma-abbreviate into ln of x. Basta base e na siya. So kani nga mga logarithm, these are logarithms that usually seen in the calculator. If you have calculators at home, muna siya usually.
Cycle, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, cycle calculator. Okay, so these are the properties of logarithms, of course. Since if your b is greater than 0 and your b is not equal to 1, then there are properties nga na buhat. So first property, if you have log base b of 1, that is equal to 0. Because if you are going to express this into exponential form, diba? Your base b raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Kay any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1.
1, ma'am.
So, mo na siya
Yes, ma'am.
explanation nga nung 0 ang equal ani. Next property is we have, if you have log base b of b. So parehas ang base o pareha po ang expression di ani. So if you have this logarithm, then that is equal to 1. Because again, if you're going to express that into exponential form, your b, base b raised to the power of 1 is just equal to b. Another property is if you have log base b of b raised to the power of x, whereas ang base of kani, so automatically that is equivalent to your exponent of this. That is equal to x. Okay? Then this property, log base b of x is equal to log base b of y if your x and y are equivalent. And then our last property is if you have log base a of b, so that's any value of a, any value of b, that is equivalent to 1 over log base b of a. Okay, this property class are used in evaluating logarithms. Okay? Say for example, this. If we are asked to evaluate log base b, ay base 7 of 7, so since we have, di ba we have the logarithm log base b of b, parehas imo ang base ug imo ang dire, that is equal to 1. Therefore, your log base 7 of 7 is equal to 1. Another
Yes,
example.
ma'am.
Another example, if you have log base 7 of 7 raised to the power of 8, so gikan gyapon na sa property, pwede nimo magamit ang property katong third property. If you have log base b of b to the power of x, equivalent na siya sa exponent nimo dire. So therefore, your log base 7 of 7 raised to the power of 8 is equal to 8.
8, ma'am. 8, ma'am.
So again, those different properties, you can use those properties in evaluating logarithmic forms or expressions. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So another example. But class, logarithmic expressions or equations or logarithms, pwede na kadili mo gamit og property ko. Pwede na ni shortest way to get or to evaluate logarithms. Say for example, you have log 4 base 4 of 8. Say for example, we are asked to evaluate this. Okay. Wapata ka balik yung equivalent, di ba? Question mark. So to know the value of log base 4 of 8, let us let the equivalent let into x. Yan naman, wala pa man nakabalang sa value niya. Manag-let
Yes,
x
ma'am.
na natin siya. Okay. So to get the value of x, let us transform or express this logarithmic equation into exponential
4. Exponential 4, ma'am.
Sunod na, bro.
Yes, ma'am.
Sunod
exponential
na.
natin siya, mahimo siyang 4 raised to the power of
4 to the x equals 8, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, ang first thing to do is we need to have the same base here. Dapat same ang base sa left side of the equation
Yes,
o
ma'am.
sa right side of the equation. Now, kung ato na silang i-base 4, kung i-base 4 nato silang duha, dili siya mahimo ngano man. Because if i-base 4 nato ni siyang duha, mangita man tag exponent ani ni 4 nga pag imong erase dapat 8 gihapon ang value. So kung si 4 erase na to power of 2, that is 16, lapas na. So dili pwede ang
Dapat na, ma'am.
4. Dili pwede ang 4. So let us try 2, basin 2. So ipareha na sila nga 2. Kung i-base 2 nato ning 4, this would become 2 raised to the power of
2x, ma'am. 2x, ma'am.
power of 2.
2x.
Because 2 raised to the power of 2 is equal to 4. Dayon, kapito
Four,
ito ang
4.
x.
X din sa gawas, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dayon, si 8 na pod. Ato i-base 2.
2 to the power of 3, ma'am.
Okay, very good. 2 to the power of
2 to the power of 3.
Una sila
3. Then consider then
2. Okay, since pareha na sila naka-base 2, pwede na mag-focus na lang sa exponents. So since
the x is equal to 3 halves or 1 and a
okay,
half.
so since you have 2 and x here, by the rule of exponents, the multiplication of exponents, we can express that into 2x. The exponents here. And then equal to the exponents on the right
Equals
side,
3, ma'am.
which is
Yes, ma'am.
3. Then, in getting the value of x,
And divide both sides by 2, ma'am.
okay, divide both sides by 2. So your
Yes,
x
ma'am.
would be 3 over
3 halves,
2.
1 or 1.5 or
Fraction lang ta para exact. Okay? So if you are going to check kung sakto ba inyong answer, diba, mahimo na dahil ng log base 4 of 8 equals 3 over
2, ma'am.
3 over 2, ma'am.
tanawo nato kung correct na. So if we are going to express this into exponential form, this will give you 4 to the power of 3 over 2 equals 8. And 4 to the power of 3 over 2 is square root of 4 to the power of
Power of 2.
3. Kanimang 2 imo ang square root, then imong 3 ang exponent dahil na ni 4. So equals 8. So 4 cubed is 64. So square root of 64 equals 8. So square root of 64 is 8. So it is equal to 8. So meaning 3 halves is the value of log base 4.
Yes, ma'am.